Hopefully everybody can hear me. So I had a bunch of comments that were just really around. Um, hey guys. So people were asking about customizing Acabado to get some look and feel adjustments on the front end. So I figured I could toss up a site real quick as a demo, and from there we can install Acabado, and then we'll let this go ahead and run through and just get it up and running so that we can start to show with the demo import how you can style the front. So first we've just got to install. So we'll go to themes and we can do add, we'll upload. We can install. And if anybody's interested, this is just local. You can run installs just off your PC. That way I don't have to have domains to use. It makes it much faster to be able to replicate something real fast. And I hate having garbage. So one second, let me move this. Yeah. Okay. So what I need to do now is switch this off of me for a second, just because people try and steal these passwords or addresses. So one second. Okay, so that way we're past that part. So we do want to do the demo install. The rest of it I don't really care about because I just need the data so we have something to get our information up and running. So okay. Where we go? And where's the demo? Okay. Where is my... It's been a long time. I don't ever do demo content. Dismiss. Okay. I can demo content is awesome. Why not? Oh, there you go. All the plugin. See that. Import. Yeah. Yeah. I'm an idiot. Shush. One day I'll figure out how to look at two screens at once, okay? I'm the massive multitasker who can only multitask by looking at one screen at a time. So I just grabbed the comment from Shot and David that were just asking about some of the stuff that was there on previous versions that they didn't have written down anywhere, nor understanding how to do it. So I figured it helped them out. How's that site going, Chris? Wish I had time for another one. Okay. Okay, so now we've got the nice normal front that everybody has. So within Acabado, there's this colors menu, which what drives people nuts is that these don't link to everything on the front end. So, like when you go in here and you see button background color, you anticipate that's all of these, and it does link to some of these. So you can change some colors, but like headline color itself, you'd think it's these, but in the older versions, some of these didn't change even when you changed this text. That was my feeling. So what happens is these ones don't look like they actually link to where they're supposed to link to. So people get irritated trying to change out colors for like these bars. So I just figured I'd go real quick over these. It's really hard to find time in the new year currently with school and everything going back on again to make videos and edit videos. So this is just easier to get that up and help everybody. So most time, most custom CSS is unlike other themes, you don't have the customize option in here. It doesn't actually have anything that's for customization for CSS. So instead you actually have to go into Acabado settings here, and then it's all the way at the bottom. So you have your custom area for everything there. So really all I do is I take a chance and some time inside Chrome and inspect, and Firefox has an inspect also. I'm assuming Internet Explorer would also. And I inspect just to go look at these so you can see that you can see the whole wrapper for the whole About Us section. So if you wanted to do, so if you're in like secondary, that's like the whole sidebar itself. So that colors that whole bar. So if you were to go in here, you can just add one and say for here real quick, we'll just do, you know, beige, right? That doesn't do anything. But wait, one is background color. So you can see what the background color is. So if you're trying to do like a whole background color inside Acabado, it's not. I would argue against it because none of these will align in the middle of the space. You'd have to go back through and redo all the spacers. So instead of having all the padding on the side, you'd have to go strip away some of the padding there and add padding here to try and get it centered inside the sidebar. So I would say if you want to do that, you're going to have a lot more custom CSS work you're going to have to do first, because you can't actually color and have centered content so that it looks correct inside the sidebar. This just kind of looks lopsided. You could do some more tweaks. We'll leave the color there just so that the whole sidebar is there and it makes a little bit more sense. We can inspect, right? And you see the title's the About Us here. So the same thing, you can see the widget title here, and we can do like you can make the size really tall, and this would be for all the titles inside the widget that are applied this class. You can do some little things inside here to tweak out those bars. What I've been a fan of before is to add padding. So like 5 pixels all around, right? You can start making this bigger. Give yourself a little bit more space, customize the look. Then you can do the borders, like the like so border, so like the rounded ones that people like to do for buttons, and I've preferred for my stuff there is you just do border radius, and then you set your pixels as to what you want it to be. So the smaller the pixels, the less the radius. So you can go all the way up. You could go all the way to round, get them back up and running. I'm gonna add it to the site afterwards because it's really hard to make it readable on the screen and still be able to use the screen at the same time. I'm just trying to explain the parts itself, so let me zoom. How do I zoom? Doesn't zoom in there, so. Okay. There, can you see it a little bit better? Out of the way. Okay, now me is out of the way. Okay. So now you can see down in the bottom, we're just targeting the About Us header. We can add a radius, give ourselves the nice pretty organization. And that's basically just targeting the widget titles were all given as a subset of H2. So if you do this, it's both of them. So you'll see anything that's given the same class is given that same setup. So you can use this to clean up and organize and make these titles what you want them to be. So if you were to say you wanted it to be you know, another light blue background, you can do the background color, and what we can do is we'll choose something that's horrible looking. There we go. Okay, so now you've got the background colored to whatever color you want it to be. And then what we can do is we'll do margin on the right. I wonder if I can do negatives here and if it'll work. I hate when you get to those borders. Yeah, see, once you get to those, see how it feeds off, you just can't see it anymore. So you can't necessarily just play with what you want to, but the problem is once you start doing this stuff, you can align everything in the center. You can get these all nice and pretty, but you're gonna have to go back through and do some additional media queries for when they get to be smaller screen sizes, because as this moves to, let's do like an iPad. So when you see like this iPad size, sorry, you can't zoom in on one and not the other. There we go. Okay. But when you start to look at these, sometimes when you make changes to the CSS at full desktop screen, you'll start to see them look more ridiculous on iPads and stuff. So you may have to do media queries. And if people aren't familiar with media queries, I can go back over them a little bit more later also, just because media queries tell it how to handle CSS at specific screen resolutions. So it's how I did like a different image for the hero when you're on mobile to cut it down to a really small picture so that your speed is faster loading. But it's needed to get the kind of response you're looking for. Is sometimes you need to have queries specifically at size that matches the content itself. So after this, we can do, we'll switch over. Recent posts is the same thing, so turn this off. If you see recent posts, it actually comes up as a recent post, so as soon as you click, it's just a header. So if you do this change for a header, it's going to change everything else that's a header also, which means we're going to increase your problem. So what you can do is look and see where you can specifically just that section. Oh, sorry guys, I've got people around again. I'm gonna have to be back and cut this one short for a second. I apologize. I'll be right back.